They say everything is bigger in Texas, but not the margins in the Lone Star State's gubernatorial race right now. In the last 2 weeks alone, multiple polls show a race between Greg Abbott and Gina Hinojosa in a dead heat, and the gap between them dramatically tightening. I want to bring in Gina Hinojosa, Democratic gubernatorial candidate for Texas, who is facing off against Governor Greg Abbott this November. Tell me, what do you take away from these polls?
Alicia, well, what's big is the momentum that we have in Texas. We launched in October. We were 9 points down, 6 polls to now in 3 weeks. In the last 3 weeks, find that we are in a statistical tie, in a dead heat with Greg Abbott. So this is a real race, and we're exactly where we need to be. And that's talking to Texans across the state and building that energy for change.
Greg Abbott doesn't like to talk about you very much, Gina Hinojosa, which feels like a tell in and of itself. He'd much rather talk about James Tallarico and other people he supposes are boogeymen. The point at which he begins attacking you, in some ways, does that become a positive indicator to you that his campaign knows that you are gaining steam and understands just how close this race is becoming?
He doesn't talk about me because the polls show as people get to know me, they are with me. So he doesn't want people to know who I am. So already his actions show he's a weak governor who's scared, and he's running scared. And we see it in the last couple of weeks. He's kind of acting strange and doing all sorts of things. But no, I think his behavior already demonstrates they're afraid, and they see the same polls that we see. And that's that Texans are ready for change. He's been there 12 years, and it's 12 years too long. And people are struggling more than they were 12 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you are on the stump. You are hearing people talk about the cost of gas and the cost of groceries. Affordability is top of mind for voters, no matter where they are. My colleague, Rosa Flores, was in Houston. She's talked to a few Texas voters. This is what they told her.
My daughter was in extended day, which is an after school program. There's no more after school for her because I can't afford it.
I see a lot of families around us that are struggling, you know, whether it's taking on extra shifts or just finding extra ways to make extra money just to go ahead and put food on the table, buying the groceries and just buying the necessities.
How much do you nationalize this race, and how much does it behoove you to make it about what is happening specifically in Texas under Greg Abbott's leadership?
Yes, people are struggling in Texas after 12 years of Greg Abbott. I come across people now, Alicia, who are standing in line at the plasma center 2 or 3 times a week to give blood as a second job to pay their bills. Teachers standing in line before the doors open. So there are big national consequences to this race, but we're running about securing the American dream in Texas, saving Texas schools, putting money in your pocket. But every American should care about this race because we know Republicans said they'll come back next year and redraw maps, all the maps. We lose 5 Democrats in Congress when that happens. 2 years later, we'll gain another 5 congressional seats because Texas is growing faster than all the other states. Census will show we deserve 5 more. If these same Republicans control, that's 10 seats off the table for Democrats nationally. There is no path to Democratic control of Congress. When that happens, Texas becomes too big. The math no longer works. We need a governor who will veto these rigged maps that they're trying to pass, and I will be that governor. And that's why I'm urging everybody to go to ginafortexas.com, do what you can do, but do all that you can do because this might be our last best chance.
Whenever a candidate drops their URL, I feel like a comms director gains their wings. So I hope that person is enjoying it. Are you getting the support that you feel you need from national Democrats in order to win this race?
Well, we're gaining more and more, but yes, we could use more support. Look, Greg Abbott has started with $100 million in his campaign account. Though the more he spends, the more points he loses in polling. His problem is people know who he is already, and his ads aren't going to change his record. So we just need to tell people who we are, what we're about. We're trying to raise enough money to do that.
The same Emerson poll that we referenced shows Senate candidates James Tallarico and Ken Paxton in a close standoff. I wonder what you see as the relationship between your campaign and the Tallarico campaign, and how much is coming down to the coordination between your campaigns.
So James Tallarico and myself are close. We sit next to each other on the floor of the Texas House. We co-chaired the successful effort to stop vouchers in 2023. Our campaigns talk all the time. And so, yes, his phenomenal campaign that he is running is helping me very much. And I believe what we're doing is helping him. So absolutely, this is a team effort, and big changes are happening in Texas. And so, yes, we see it on the ground. We see it in election results already in this state. Democrats are winning where we haven't won in a long, long time, and sometimes ever. So this is real.
I am married to a pollster. He always reminds me polls are merely a snapshot of a moment in time. But when you start seeing 2, 3, 4 polls that are moving in the same direction, there is something worth watching. Gina Hinojosa, thank you so much for your time.